Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we were discussing, studying last week, Swami has introduced Jnana Yoga. He is talking about the outer sadhana and the inner sadhana to reach the goal. And the outer he calls as Nishkama Karma. The inner is Nididhyasana, which is Dhyana, Samadhi, and so on. And then Swami also introduced the term Atma Samyama. And he says for us to attain liberation, we need to recognize that the worldly possessions and accumulations are not the ones needed, and our goal should be Atma Samyama. I think this is what I recollect from the session last week. So I will ask the sisters to continue from where we left off. Saya.
There are two paths by which man can approach this Abheda Jnana, the inner and the outer. The outer sadhana is Nishkama Karma, engaging in activity without attachment towards the result of those activities, as dedicated to the Lord. The inner sadhana is dhyana, meditation, and samadhi, equipoise, devoid of ups and downs. In Vedantic terminology, this is named Nididhyasana. Listen and meditate on what you have listened to. Those two steps are the basis of this Nididhyasana, or inner concentration. Without these, dhyana is impossible of achievement. This is the meaning of what is called Atma Samyama, the control of the senses, detachment from the outer sensory world, the withdrawal of the mind from the outer world. This is the goal of all life, knowing the Paramatma, attaining liberation. There can be no second aim for man. Man is endowed with life not as a means for building bungalows, the acquisition of estates, the accumulation of wealth, the addition of progeny, the earning of titles or ascent into higher rungs of social life. His greatness does not depend on these. The chief success of life lies in the winning of permanent bliss, permanent escape from grief and agitation.
Thank you, sister. So I will open it up for a discussion because we had discussed most of these points, I guess, last week as well. But if anyone would like to share any thoughts, please go ahead. I think we can move on. I think
Shrinvantu Vishwe Amritasya Putraha is the call. Listen, O ye children of immortality all over the world. That is the invitation. The heritage of immortality must be recognized and experienced. It must be won back. The bonds of name and form must be got rid of. They are but bonds made of dream stuff. They are changeful and temporary. They are not genuine, natural characteristics of the jiva. Real wisdom consists in recognizing that man is pure bliss, bliss that persists from the past into the present and the future. Escape from grief for a brief period of time and the attainment of joy for a short time. These are not signs of real liberation. If you seek this steady, genuine, pure state of bliss, you must be attached to me, said Krishna. Arjuna, whoever does spiritual practice after attaining himself to me, after attaching himself to me, with a view to liberate himself from old age and senility, will know all that is to be known of Brahman, Karma, and Atma. I am master of Adhibhuta, the highest among the physically manifest, Adideva, the supreme among gods, and Adiyajna, the presiding deity of sacrifice. And if I am thus worshipped, the worshipper will develop equanimity and full control of the vagaries of the mind. Besides, such a person will dwell on me without forgetting me, even in his last moments. For that reason, he will reach me too. That is to say, he will merge in me.
Thank you very much, Kalyani. Just to, there's a few Sanskrit words Swami has introduced. And the first one is a quote from Upanishads, Shrinvanta Vishve Amtasya Putra. Swami repeats this often, that we are all children of immortality, the Amrita Putras. Then Swami has also introduced three other words, Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, and Adi Yajna. I think those are the words. I think I will ask Auntie to correct if necessary. Which basically that's the original Bhuta, original divinity, and original is the way I understand, but I will ask Auntie to comment on it. Those are some points I thought I will just mention, and I will open it up for discussion. Auntie, can you comment on those?
Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna. Here the meaning what they have given in the brackets is highest among the physically manifest. Adi Bhuta. Adi Daiva, the supreme among gods. And Adi Yajna, the presiding deity of sacrifice. What more can we add to this? Can we take the elements in Adi Bhuta?
Yes, Auntie.
Physically manifest, of course, includes even the element. Adi Daiva is supreme among gods.
I think Adi in the sense the origin itself. I think the origin, from which all this originated is the way I understand. The five elements originated from the divinity. So I think that from which the bhutas have emanated or come out. Or the Daiva also, the divinity itself, which has come from the original source. So Adi Yajna is sort of the source of the sacrifices. Something which,
Is it possible to go through the Telugu?
Yeah. Sure. And Baba Arjuna, Jara Maranamulane Dukkal Nundi, Vimukti Nondu Nimittamu, Nannashrayinchu, Evado, Sadhana Cheyano, Vadu Brahmanu, Sampurnamaina, Adhyatmikanni, Karmanu, Telusukunna Vadaguno. That is, those who do spiritual practice have attached himself with me. Old age and senility. It's not here. Old age and senility. It is the one who comes to my refuge. He is going to realize Brahman and Brahman and Sampurnamaina Adhyatmikani and Karmanu. Here he is, all there is to be known of Brahman. Karma and Atma will know all that is to be known of Brahman, Karma and Atma.
Auntie,
I think the previous paragraph you should read, Auntie.
Illa. She Adibhuta then comes. Adibhuta, Adideva it comes.
Okay.
She wanted me to read that last paragraph.
No, I think she wanted from beginning. Shrinvantu.
Oh, okay. Shrinvantu Vishve Amritasya Putra. That already Arun has said that. Children of immortality. Anna Satyamunu Anubhutilo Anandinchavalenu. You have to realize the immortality in reality, in your experience. Sadhinchavalenu. Unna roopa namamulanu tejinpavalenu. The name and form should be completely got rid of. Kalpitamulu kallale.
So,
Kalpitamulu kallale. Kalpitamulu ante the bonds.
they are imagined,
Oh,
so
imagine.
yeah.
Dream he has written.
Dream,
Dream.
yes. They are but bonds of dream stuff. That's the way they have translated.
That they have translated.
Actually, even that the first one, Swami says, we need to experience and you need to attain bliss. Anandincha Valanu Swami has said, the first one, Auntie, that immortality should be experienced and we have to derive bliss therefrom.
Yeah.
And I think I thought I would just point out that.
Then the next
Oh,
sentence.
Sorry, the Shrinvantu just means with
Listen. Shrinvantu means listen.
Okay.
Listen.
It's plural, okay, plural. But Shrinvantu means the Vedas ask everyone to listen. Okay, when
Shrunu, Shrinvantu.
Vishwe means you ask in the Vishwe, which is the entire world. It's Sanskrit. Vishwe means the entire world is being asked to listen. Amritasya means of the Amrita. See, immortality not necessarily, is fully justify that, fully translate the sense of that word. Amrita means immortality, and it's also nectar. Okay, you can see divine elixir of immortality.
It can be said as divine.
Divine.
Children of divinity.
Divinity. Putra means children.
Sure.
Okay, it's the call of the Vedas or Upanishads. And then Swami says that should be experienced.
That's
and derived bliss therefrom.
So anubhutilo means experience?
Anubhuti means experience.
Satyamunu means like in
Truth.
So this truth should be experienced?
Experienced and derived joy therefrom. Anandincha Valan. Anand means you have to be joyful by experiencing that.
Sadhincha Valanu?
Sadhincha Valan means you have to attain. Auntie, is it?
Practice it. Attainment of these things. Correct. Sadhincha Valanu. Accomplish. Rupanamavalno tejinchavalno. Get rid of those names and
name
form.
And form. I think that is not translated, I think.
Yeah, I think it is there. I think name and form is there. The bonds of name and form must be got rid of.
Oh, I see.
It is there.
Yeah, but I think I will, because generally people think name and form means God's name and form. It's not that, it is, when Swami says name and form, it is this world, creation, which is name and form, which has this aspects of name and form.
Tyajincha Valanu means to...
Tyajincha means give up.
Give up.
Is this sacrifice also or no?
No,
you can say sacrifice, but it's to be give up. Renounced.
Renounce. Okay. Should be renounced. When is it unna? What does unna mean? Unna rupa?
The remaining or the one that roop nama.
Okay.
Unna means what exists. Okay.
Existing.
What is?
What is? Okay.
So in the creation, what we see is the name and form. Okay, Swami says that has to be given up.
Because they are always changing. Kadalunavi, Vadalunavi. They changeful and they are temporary. That's also there.
Sai Ram, can you explain why Baba says it's a dream stuff? They are but bonds made of dream stuff.
It's not dream. Swami says it's imaginary.
Oh.
Okay.
It's not. It's
they are like a dream. Because they imagine, they are like a dream. But see, the dream, when you awake, it doesn't exist. When you are dreaming, it's real. So I think Swami says when you get jnanam, you will realize all this is actually a dream. they are not real. Means there's no substance in what we think as the world. I think that's what my auntie or others also can.
Yeah.
Astu kalpitamulu
That's what
Imagined.
and kalale.
Kalalu means dream.
Oh, kalale means dream.
Yeah, they imagined dreams.
Oh.
It's like the daydream, when we sit and we do daydreaming. That means what we are doing is we imagine something which doesn't exist. Okay, so what we actually observe is also a daydream. Okay, it is something which we imagine to be present because of the ignorance, because we don't see the divine. I think which Swami has covered in the last week. Nahi jnanena sadrisham.
Sadrisham.
Okay.
Satyamulukavu means not truth.
That's not truth.
Brother, I just wanted to ask you one thing. We are going to go one line by line, brother.
No, if you want
I
something,
can ask in the question in the middle on the third.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why not? Because when it's fresh, you can ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the last one is the Adi Bhuta, Adi.
Oh no, then you have gone far. You have gone too far, sister.
No, the third paragraph.
Yeah, but we
You
are in
want
the
to
first
go
paragraph.
there? Okay, then I'll wait.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll wait then. Thank you.
Auntie, then you can continue, Auntie.
త్రికాలములందు స్థిరముగా నుండు ఆనందమే తన స్వరూపమని తెలుపుటే జ్ఞానము.
So I think that's also maybe not translated, because what is remains firm in all three times, that kind of bliss is the real thing. Is the real thing. The jnana actually explains that, no, Auntie, or it reveals that. So jnana will reveal that the bliss which we have, which is steady, which is firm, lasting in all three times, past, present, and future.
Yeah, correct.
That is captured in the second paragraph.
We are doing the first chapter. Aruna.
Yes, still Swami sometimes some things repeating, sister.
Okay.
Oh, unless that is what it is. Okay, real wisdom.
Yeah, that is what it is.
Okay, fine.
Tana Swarupamani means that you are that real bliss? Or
Yes. That is they are not genuine normal characteristics.
తాత్కాలిక దుఃఖ నివృత్తి, తాత్కాలిక ఆనంద ప్రాప్తి నిజ విముక్తి కాదు. Temporary relief from grief or the attainment of joy for a short time is not the nija vimukti. It's not the real liberation.
I think that's it. So they have translated as escape from grief for a brief period of time and the attainment of joy for a short time. I think it is. These are not signs of real liberation.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine.
Sorry, Uncle. Before you go on, just that previous sentence, the three kala, that one, it says. So can you say it again? So it means.
Yeah, the blissful nature is your real form, which lasts at all three times. Which explains or reveals that is jnana. So basically, jnanam tells a person that you are bliss. You are the form of bliss, which lasts in all three times, and it remains the same in all three times. Okay, that is that knowledge, whatever gives you, is real jnana. Okay.
Shall I go further?
Oh, yes, Auntie, please.
Kanuka, itti nitya satya nirmalamaina stitini పొందవలనన్న అతనినే ఆశ్రయించవలనని కృష్ణ బోధ. If you seek this steady, genuine, pure state of bliss, you must be attached to me, said Krishna.
Kalyan is going to ask the word which in the version which I have, Santi, nanne. Nanne ashrayinchavaranam means Krishna is telling Arjuna, you need to take refuge in me if you want that steady, genuine, and pure state of bliss. So that's what this translation also says. You must be attached to me. Ashrayinchavaram means you should take refuge in me. Sorry, Auntie.
Correct. Next paragraph, I think.
Yes. So sorry, it's saying that this Nitya Satya Nirmala Sthiti, so that state?
That's the state.
That's what is translated as steady, genuine and pure. Nitya Satya Nirmala.
Yeah.
Means pure state is Nirmala. Satya means they translate it as genuine. It's, but Nitya is steady.
And Ponda Valanmena, what does that mean again?
To attain that.
So if you want to attain that state, then you need to take refuge in me.
In Krishna.
Krishna says.
Yeah. Next. Then Krishna again addresses Arjuna. Jara maranamulane dukkalan nunde vimukti nondu నిమిత్తము నన్ను ఆశ్రయించి ఎవడు సాధన చేయునో వాడు బ్రహ్మను సంపూర్ణమైన ఆధ్యాత్మికాన్ని కర్మను తెలుసుకున్న వాడగును.
Swami is told quite a bit there.
Yeah.
So one who wants to liberate themselves from old age,
birth and
death and sorrow, have to take refuge in me and practice, no, Auntie? Sadhana.
Sadhana cheyano vaadu, he will attain Brahma and Brahman and Adhyatmikam.
Which spirituality you can say, or
yes.
Attaining Atma itself.
And Karma and Atma.
And he will know all this.
What is Nimittanmu?
For the purpose, for the purpose.
Cause, purpose.
For the purpose of liberating yourself from Jara Marana.
Exactly.
So take refuge in me, do sadhana, he will attain Brahman.
So whoever does that person, Vadu, Brahmanu, Sampurnamaina. So that means complete spirituality, that's. And karma will be known by such a person.
Complete spirituality and complete karma? Or?
Yes.
I mean,
see, actually, it's complete may not be a good word, Auntie. Sampurna means that which is complete. That it's full. That fullness, karma, which will get you fullness, or that kind of meaning, I would say.
Sai Ram, what is the meaning of senility?
Old age, forgetfulness. We become senile when we become old.
Senile.
Everybody is going through that.
Yeah.
Not all. There are youngsters here. I'm talking of my own experience.
Sai Ram, in that same sentence, what is the difference between the Brahman and Atma? It says that from old age and senility will know all that is to be known of Brahman, Karma and Atma. in this context, what is the difference between the Brahman and Atma? Those are two different terminologies, or it means the same thing, Brahman and Atma?
The word, sisters, the word Swami has used is Brahman. Swami has said there's no discussion is required.
Yeah.
The next word Swami has said is Sampurnamaina Adhyatma.
Adhyatmikani.
Okay, so Adhyatmika means it is actually spirituality. Okay, so the process of attaining Brahman is part of spirituality. That will be known by a person who does this.
Yeah, there is no
Okay, so Sampurnamaina Adhyatmika means he will know spirituality in its completeness. And karma also, the action which is required for that purpose. So I think that's the way. So we will know the path, the process, and the goal. Everything will be known by the person. Okay, so that's the way I saw
the path, process, and the goal. Those are the three things. It's explained explained in this particular sentence.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
When you say Sampurnamaina, can it also mean like coming to fruition, like you or something like that?
You can say, it's a total maturity, that kind of meaning. Yes, you could say so. In totality, I think more than complete, actually totality also is a good. You will know spirituality in its totality. Such a person.
When we say karma, I mean, I feel like anyone can know karma. But when we say knowing karma in its totality, are we talking about that akarma state, like doing?
Getting to that akarma state, you can say. So there's vikarma also. So karma becomes vikarma, leads to the state of experiencing of akarma. I think we have discussed it in chapter 3.
Enough. Then the question, this sentence, Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagnam.
Is it Adi Swami is using auntie or
not Adi, Adibhuta.
Okay, Adibhuta, okay.
Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagnam.
Okay, sorry, okay, auntie. So then I think the supreme, the translation is okay.
Yeah, Adi is a higher. Yeah.
Adi, if you had
yes.
taken word, that would have meant something else.
Something else, okay, auntie. Adibhuta, Adidaiva.
Adidaiva, Adiyagnam.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Sister Aruna, now your question.
Yeah, the third one, Adijana, the
Adiyagna.
presiding deity of sacrifice. What is that meant by that?
I don't know whether it's, there's no deity being mentioned by Swami. Yajna itself is the sacrifice itself.
Adijana.
Arun, when we do any yajna,
yes,
a presiding deity there.
Oh, I see.
They have a presiding deity. For example, Brahma Yagnam, or you're doing Vishwaksena Yagnam. Any yajna, we are offering a special place for that particular deity. But here I'm saying, I am the presiding deity for all the sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Okay, now I got it.
Okay, good.
Okay, so brother, the recently you went to the Trinidad. What is that Jagna? Is it what is the deity?
Shiva.
Sacrifice.
I was not there for that. They did Ganapati Homam, sister. That was the first day.
Oh, Ganapati Homam. So the Ganapati was the deity.
With the deity.
Okay.
So you can see Adi Yajna. Okay.
Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagnamulతో కూడిన నన్ను ఎవరు ఆరాధన చేయునో అట్టివాడు సమాహిత చిత్తవృత్తి కలవాడై దేహము వీడు సమయమునందు కూడాను నన్ను మరువక చింతించును. Even at the last moment of his this breath, he will remember me. Those who do this Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagna.
Auntie, so can you say that, the meaning of that sentence again from Adibhuta?
Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagna Mulato, Kudina Nannu. He is the master of all these three. He is the highest among the physically manifest. He is supreme God and he is supreme deity of all the sacrifices. Those who keep these things in their mind and those who worship me, such a person, he will have this equilibrium. He will develop that equanimity. Chitta vritti, samahita chitta vritti kalavadai, dehamu vidu samayamanandu. When he leaves his body, then also he will remember me. Nannu maravaka chintinchunu. He will dwell upon me.
So samahita means like equanimity?
Equanimity, chitta vritti.
Auntie,
Amma chulma.
that sentence need to be clarified little more, Auntie, because there is a word saying that I am the master of all these three.
Yeah.
So I am thus worship me. So
whoever does worship to me, nannu evaru aradhana cheyaro.
And if I am thus worshipped, what is that sentence is referring then? Krishna
is saying about himself, whoever worships me in all these three aspects.
Oh,
yeah.
So in all three aspects, we have to remember him.
You have to remember that God, that Krishna, that Lord. Such a person will definitely get that full control of the mind, and before he dies, always even at the moment of his death, he will remember me.
I don't understand why then we are bringing another deity and thinking of him. I'm just thinking to myself.
Whatever your Ishtadevata is, you...
Ishtadevata, out of Ishtadevata, he is the master. So why then we are going through a deity to pray him? That's what I am trying to understand here.
I don't know.
You know,
Sairam, brother.
Yes.
I'd like to add some points here to our here.
Yes.
The people are very sad about their old age. That is, the main reason is they are ignorant. Because once you refuse and surrender to the God, then you will understand the path of the Brahman, Atma, and the Karma. Those who understand, they are not going to worry about the old age, because you know that you are the permanent. So those who surrender to the God, then they will know. But the people who are not surrender, they are surrendered to the worldly object. They are the one going through the grief and everything. That the object all created by the God through the Maya Sakti, the Maya. So only the God can remove the Maya from the people. That when who surrender only, he is the only person can remove the Maya or ignorant from us. Thank you, Sairam, brother.
Thank you.
Aruna, your question, please.
Yeah, I think Auntie, her question is why these three things are mentioned in Krishna. I think that's the question.
Even I need some clarification about it.
See, okay. I think we have Swami has discussed some in Sandeha Nivarani also. See, what he says is, in this world, see, God is one who is above everyone. Okay, he's the supreme being. But then this bhuta can also means beings, all of us. Okay. And then what do? We try to attain a goal which is God, Deva. Okay. The process of how we attain that is yajna. You know, so generally that's the way the deed, the doer, and the goal, or the accomplishment, or whatever the goal is. All these three is what we are all struggling with. But what Krishna is telling, because I am the one, the worship. See, I am the worshipped. I am the worshipper. You understand?
Yeah.
And I am the worship also.
Brahma.
Swami
Like
always says,
Brahmarpanam.
Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmakna, Brahmanahutam.
Brahmana.
So that is what Swami is trying to say. If you take yajnas, mean the things which you pray, that is the supreme. That is also me. I am the one who is presiding over that also. I am also presiding over the creation. All beings. I am the God. Whatever you imagine to be God, that also I am. So all three is me, because I am the Adhi, means I am the one who is above all these. They are all in my control. So because until we have that, we realize that Amrit Shrinvant Putre Amritashi Putre, we are that state. All these are there. So Krishna is telling, knowing that you just surrender to me, then I will take care of everything. And because when we think that we are different from the goal, we have to do this, then the mind also causes all sorts of turmoil. And Swami, I think that's why Krishna is telling that. So that's my understanding. I don't know whether
Is it based on the oneness? Yes, right?
That's all.
Yeah.
It is the different, the three facets of the same divinity. Three facets. He is the highest among the physically manifest, and he is the supreme Daivam. He is supreme, the deity of all the sacrifices. So it all says about only one Lord, one Paramatma.
Sai Ram, Yakya here means that the way we pray, the process of praying.
The worship, whatever you call worship, because that is also God, the worship itself is God.
Not the real Yakya.
Everything,
No.
See, in Sandhya Nivarani, Swami says everything is yajna. Everything is yajna in this world. Whether we eat also, that's also yajna.
Yeah.
Okay, whether we walk also, that is also yajna. Every action also has to be transmuted into a yajna. For every activity as prayer, which is the same thing which Swami earlier in this earlier sentence also said, Brahmam, Adhyatmika, and Karma. So it's again, he's again is rephrasing the same thing in the next one, saying Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, and Adhijajna. So which is the goal, the process, and the person who is also traveling towards the goal. All three is part of God, is from God. I hope that's my understanding.
Thank you. Yes, understood. Thank you.
So all these three things have given to understand him. Like that we can think of, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But he's saying all these three things are also him. You are also him. The worship you do is also him. And what you are going to attain is also him. Krishna is telling that.
Thank you.
So if we compare it to the previous paragraph, so the Brahman is the Adidaiva, the Adhyatmika is the Adibhuta, and the Adiyajna.
Adiyajna is Adibhuta. Adibhuta is Brahman.
I think Arun, there Adi Daika Adi. Adi Bhuta. It's not Adi Bhuta. Adi Bhuta. Is it not so or same?
Yeah, that's why I had this question. Because
I have heard it as Adi Bhuta.
That's why Kalyani sent the verse from Geetha, chapter 7, the last verse. Adi Bhuta Adi Daivam. So that's why I was saying, it may be error in the print auntie. So because the word is Sadi Bhuta Adi Daiva in Sanskrit. So that's why I was telling it's Adi Bhuta, but
But in Telugu, it is Adibhuta, it's written.
I understand. It could be a error in the typo print or whatever. Possibly.
So Adi would mean original, whereas Adi means supreme.
Yes, but yeah,
Adidaiva.
actually Adi and Adi, actually both of them are related words. Okay, from Adi only Adi comes. Okay, because in Sanskrit, the akara is added. It is it's another prefix, if you want to put it that way. Okay,
Brother, when he says that he is the supreme for everything, then it says, because he's comparing, then that the word is used Adi. It's not he didn't say it's originate from, right? He's comparing for all these things. He's the highest.
See, the thing is,
okay.
See, the what Swami tends to tell us is, what is created is not different from him. If something originated from him, means what has originated is also him only. It originated from him and it ends in him, and in between also it is him only. Okay, it doesn't exist separate from that Lord. Okay, so what we are seeing, maybe we think that it is originated and now it is standing outside and it's going to go back. But Krishna says the origin is also him, middle also he is, end is also him. So both Adi and Adi, don't make too much difference, but in terms of meaning, they're related. So that's my understanding. But I think, Kalyani, your question is, you're trying to link the the worshipper worshipped and the goal. I think that's your question. The Bhuta, because in that one Swami says Brahman, Adhyatmika and Karma. Okay, are the 2-3 words. See, the Adhyatmika means spirituality means the Bhuta is trying to do the karma to reach the Brahman. Okay, so that's the way I understand. So Bhuta means all of us who are striving to become God are following the path of spirituality. Spiritual aspirants, if you want to put it that way. Okay, the Bhuta is the spiritual aspirant who is doing yajna, which is the karma, which is karma, as you said, akarma or vikarma. Okay, the action to realize the Atman. And the Atman is Adidaiva, means Adidaiva is the supreme God. Okay, so I think that's because if they are all related, see, Swami is trying to explain the same concept in multiple ways for us to grasp. Is the way I understand. I think in the further also he is clarifying some of the things, so I think it should become.
Thank you, Arnav, for clarifying so well.
Because this what Swami, I think I still clearly remember, Swami says, when it's raining, Swami says the earth and the sky are connected by the rain. And he says everything is one when it's raining. The sky, the rain, and the earth are all connected. And he says that is the way we should see. It's all God. The sky is also God, the rain is also God, we are also God. And we are getting back to the source. It's not getting back. We should realize that we are that. So, that kind of, we are into jnana. I don't know.
So you mean we have to take it as Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, and Adi.
That's it was my thinking, but
I have got it something. I got different this thing.
Okay.
Adhikari. What when you say Adhikari? The one
Adhikari.
Authority.
Adhi means one. See, Adhikari means one who is overlord. So that is the meaning I think they have used, Auntie. Adhikari means one who has authority over something.
Authority.
Adhikari.
So here Adibhuta means he is the authority on the bhutas.
Yeah, you can say that also. Yes.
That's
it's all within his control.
Within his control.
Within his control.
In control. All the Daivatas also, all the gods are also, but in his control.
In his control. Yes.
Then Adi means also he is the presiding. Yeah,
Yes.
we can take it that way.
That way also we can make it. So that's why once everything has come from you, you have total control over it.
Yeah, adhikari should be. I mean,
Yes.
in that way
Yes. So
it
yeah.
applies.
So yeah.
It's not Adibhuta.
Yeah.
Is
So it's fine. But you know, but I was trying to connect it to the server that the words in the Gita. That's
okay.
why I was saying.
Yeah. Anyway, now it's clear. Yeah.
What is Samayam Munandu Kuranu?
Samahita Chitta Vritikalavadi. What did you say?
Yes, right after that.
Samayamunandu. So it
Ah,
means see dehamu vidu samayamunandu. So when the time, samayam means time.
when
So
the time
deham means body. Vidu means leaving. At the time when you leave the body, such person, you know, will be thinking of me and
nanu
merging me.
marantinchunu.
What is Maruvaka?
Without
Will
forgetting.
not forget.
Okay.
Without forgetting. Which translated well, you know, such a person will dwell on me without forgetting me.
Yeah.
Even in his last moments, they have written, which is dehamu vidu samayam. Samayam means time. Dehamu, body. Vidu means leaving. At
And
the
then
time of leaving the body, that person will not forget. That means senility and, you know, old age will not affect.
And then the
So
last.
it is automatically you will remember Krishna or
Yeah.
Baba.
Baba, when we leave our bodies.
Thank you.
Those who worship him in all the Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagna, those who worship him in these three forms, that person will not forget the name of God before he leaves this body. Even when he is leaving his body. Yeah. Yeah, next sentence again.
Yeah, I think there's still 2 more sentences there in Telugu.
Yeah. Anaga nalo చేరుచున్నాడు. He will attain me. He will merge in me. Baba, ముసలితనము, మరణము. ముసలితనము is old age. మరణము is death. ఈ రెండు దుఃఖముల నుంచి తప్పించుకొనవలెనని ప్రతి మానవునికి ఉండును. Everyone, all people, all persons would like to escape from this old age and death. These two types of grief.
Auntie, we didn't read that part yet.
Yeah, we didn't read. I think next paragraph. I think it's in English.
And there's one more sentence. Akaranamuche.
Because of this reason, akaranamuche. Because of this reason, attivadu, such a person, nanne ponduchunnadu. He will attain me. He will merge in me.
So even in the Gita, it's Adibhuta only. So sorry. Let's check. Adhi only, Auntie. Adibhuta.
Adi.
Adhi.
Adibhuta.
Okay. So we'll move on now.
Adibhuta, Adidhaiva, Adiyagya. Okay.
Okay, next.
Sairam, sorry, can I interrupt one of those questions I have?
Yes, brother.
If you don't mind, please, I want to ask a question. In the beginning of the chapter, I think in second chapter or third chapter, Swami is talking about a couple of things. The self-surrender, how that works. I am yours. And then he's telling, you are mine. And then you and I are mine. That is also a surrender part Swami was explaining in those second
Three
or third
kinds of
chapter.
surrender.
Yes. And now Swami is talking about here in this particular context, this he's above all these. He's the Adhikari, like sort of above all these aspects of Adi Buddha, Adi Deva, Adi Jagna, everything. How can we relate this to the previous surrender part, and here how are we coordinate these kind of things? What is how can we derive anything from the earlier what Swami was trying to say, and here he's saying something? Is it something different that
Very good question, brother. Very good question. So I will open it up for anyone to comment on this. As just to repeat brother's question, because the Swami had talked about three kinds of surrender. That I am yours, you are mine, and I and you are one. Those are the three types of surrender which Swami described. And so what Swami is describing here now about, I am the master of Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagnya. And if I am thus worshipped, the worshipper will develop equanimity. So where does, how does this relate to those three statements is brother's question. So
also I want to add one more thing. And the last part of the sentence is saying, without forgetting me, even in the last moments, like then this person will merge with Lord. Then is another thing is when we remember God's name at the last breath, also reach God.
Yeah.
Isn't that too much that we have to understand here, rather than simply remembering their God, Lord?
But it is,
No. See, what I'm trying to say is here that besides such a person who will dwell on me without forgetting me, even in these last moments, he will reach God, right? That's what the Swami is saying here.
Reach me, yes.
If I am thus worshipped, the worshipper will develop equanimity and full control of vagaries of the mind. Besides, such a person will dwell on me without forgetting me, even in his last moments. I know every action should be, that we should perform as a Jagna in this world. Like you all mentioned, that is fine. Then my question is, there are different ways of reaching God. Like my understanding is remembering Lord's name at the last breath is Krishna mentioned, Swami mentioning it. So how are we coordinate all these things into my mind? I don't know. You are all talking a lot of things here. Not that I missed some of the subjects, but I read. I was trying to understand this one.
Okay, I think they are good questions, brother. They are related questions only. I think it's good that you ask so that we ask ourselves and we clarify for ourselves. So I will just open it up for anyone to comment. Which type of surrender does this fall into? And, how do we do all these things? And during the life we think, whenever we are doing, we have to think, then at the end of our life also we should think. How do we coordinate all this? I think these are two questions from brother. So I will open it up for anyone to comment. Yes, Brother Dasan.
Yes, Sairam, brother. First of all, we have to understand the surrender. Surrender means we have to surrender our 5 pranas, self, body, and ego. That because otherwise you have the body consciousness. Then if the most of the people don't surrender because they believe on the worldly object, that Maya. So that also created by the God. That's what I was telling before. In order to understand that is Maya, that's a dream, everything dream, to get that knowledge, you have to surrender to him. Then only you get the jnana in order to differentiate what is reality in this world. So the last moment, it's easy to say last moment. Even Krishna Lord Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, whoever think about me in the last moment, they are liberated. They are going to merge with me. But he should to say that last moment, you are going through so many difficulties, pain and everything. That moment, you don't know when is the death is coming. So that moment, that if you say the word even Rama or Lord's name, you are liberated. For that, you have to practice all the time when the tongue supposedly be tell the Namasvarna all the time, then only you will be liberated that time. That is my understanding, brother. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yes,
Anyone else? Yes, Sister Anandi.
Sairama, brothers and sisters, I take this as, say for an example, the subject is the same, Didi. It could be any subject, but when we explain that subject to a grade 1 student or grade 6 student or grade 12 or university student, so when we explain to a grade 1 student, that should be simpler enough to grasp by that that grade student. Maybe the same subject when it comes to grade 6 or grade 12 or university, they improve the knowledge, or they gain the knowledge gradually. So when it comes to right now in Bhagavad Gita, this is the 14th chapter. That's why even the Lord Krishna or Swami, they are explaining little more in that level. The meaning doesn't change at all. But when they explained in the previous chapter, they explain maybe very in simple terminology, and maybe their explanation is very simple and short and simple, and maybe at that level of knowledge we all can understand. When we gain our knowledge gradually, now they explain us little more in depth, but that doesn't mean the meaning or the essence of that subject is different or anything. That's my understanding. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Anyone else would like to comment?
As Dasan said,
Yes, Auntie.
I agree with him that you have to have your soul, everything you have to surrender. Your soul, your mind, your atma, everything you surrender, physical, everything when you surrender, and you have to practice. Continuous practice is the one that will get embedded in your mind, in your thought and everything. Without your knowledge, you can call out God's name at the last moment.
Okay, thank you very much, Auntie. Thank you. So I think thanks. I think Brother Arul, I will try to summarize. I think what everyone has said, and also add my piece to it. I think it is true that Swami has outlined 3 types of surrender. That I am in you, you are in me, and I and you are one. And that is the journey. The Adhyatmika journey is from the state of duality, we reach the state of non-duality where we merge with the Lord. And but Swami is trying to explain to anyone who is practicing from a state of duality, and that you think you are different, you are doing a worship and you will attain me. Understand that all these 3 are, I am the one who is control. So that kind of explanation is given here. But it may, as Sister Ananti and Auntie Sakku also have said, it doesn't change to the person who is in the middle. See, initially we think, I am the servant of the Lord, I am the son of the Lord, and I and my Father are one, as Jesus said, or something like that. So it does not change at any point in time until you merge. there may be slightly different states of understanding, that we may feel we are an outsider, we may feel we are connected to the Lord, but we are still different, and that will be there until you merge. I think that's the way I understand. So this principle applies to all states. And once you and the Lord are one, that time also then you are a part of the Adibhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna. Because after all, the world goes on, is the way I understand. And in terms of death, as I think others have already said, if we have developed the habit of thinking of the Lord at every minute, every moment, the moment of death also will think. We don't have to remind ourselves to think of the Lord, because we have the habit of thinking of the Lord at every moment. As Brother Dasan said, through practice, when you got to that state, when we are dying also, naturally, if next moment I'm thinking of the Lord now, the next moment also I'm going to think of the Lord. The next moment, if I die, then I will be thinking of the Lord. Then the question comes, so does it happen only when we die? See, the word Swami has used is when you leave the body. So which also means when you leave the body consciousness, identification with the body. That time also, at that last moment, you are thinking of the Lord, and then suddenly you are merged with the Lord. So that is how the jnanis walk around in the world, because they have actually left the body, because they don't identify with the body, they only identify with the Atma. So that is the state of complete merger. But if someone is not in that state, at least by thinking of the Lord, when we die, we will be reaching the Lord. I think that's the assurance he gives. Is my understanding. I hope, I don't know whether I have confused you further or not, but
No. It's very good. All of you gave me a great explanation. I really thank you for that. Really, I like that. Everybody, something put together. It works very well for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a good question. I think sometimes we read. I think always good to think in terms of practical terms. How do we adapt, and what can we benefit from this learning? So it's good. Thank you, brother.
Sai Ram, a practical question. When we are alive, every day we will pray to Swami that when our last breath comes in, we should remember at that time. But why at the last breath of that particular moment, other thoughts are coming and even take its power, and even hides maybe our prayers and everything, and the supersedes and come to our mind at that time. Even though we don't experience that yet, but the way other the jnanis and sages they talk about these things. Why other thoughts take much more powerful than our prayer to Swami? You should be in my mind at my last breath. But that's why we born again and again and get into this samsara sahara. Why this? Why the thoughts are coming? Suddenly, and even some of the thoughts, they wouldn't come at all. Only at the very the final moment of the death, it comes and take away everything and vanish. Why?
It is the sanskara. All the past lives, what we have learned and what we have developed as our own samskara, that comes at the end of our death. So if we had been doing namasmarana, of course, it doesn't take one birth. It must be several births. We must have been doing that. And then the last moment, naturally, it comes to us. And our karma also plays a lot there during the last moments of our life. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Thank you. Anyone else would like to add?
Yes, I am, brother. I
Yes.
just want to know, like, what about Jivan Muktas? Are they fully surrendered too, right?
Yeah,
They
I
are like
think
jnanis, right?
see that's why Jivan Muktas have left the body. Means
Mhm.
that's why called Jivan Mukta. Even while alive, they are liberated. That means
Yeah,
they are
okay.
not identifying with the body. So there must have been a moment when they left that. That's why we say Buddha, attained nirvana. It was a moment when he came to that realization. After that, he never identified with the body. So people like, as you said, Jivan Muktas are there, and
But the
they have dropped the
but
body.
but the body continues to be there, and their work will be there. They're doing their actions, their karmas, everything they will be doing, but not at all attached to the body. Automatically, those things will go on.
Okay, thank you, Sairam.
So anyone else has answer to Sister Ananti's question? Auntie has already.
Yeah, I just think like this. Sometimes we think it's a prayer or remembering Lord, right? As the one to Krishna is referring here, remember me to come to me. But that is you can practice with your everything, whatever you do, sacrifice, thinking. So it's like a words, thoughts, deeds. All three need to be thinking about it. While you're doing something, thinking about it, then that's the only way you will be remembering it. It's not by the words. Sometimes we take it as a song, name kind of. No, even the feeling has to be there. That's how I think. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Any other thoughts?
Sai Ram,
Yes,
as I don't know, you said that you should not have the body consciousness. So when you don't have the body consciousness, aches and pains and all attachments will not come and disturb you. But I heard that at the last moment, that everything that happened during your lifetime will run in front of your
Yes.
mind, this thing. At that time, how can any soul break that and call for God's name?
See, everything when you're in your lifetime, what you're doing, if you do with the Swami's thing, that's the only thing will run. I mean,
Come to us.
I'm just
No.
Whatever bad things we have, it comes.
Even the bad things will run.
Yeah, of course,
Chitra
everything.
Putranar is not going to allow you to give only the good ones. Yeah, this is I read it and I heard it. So I was wondering how at that last moment.
See, thank you. Anyone else has something to add? Maybe I'll just summarize. See, I think the point is, I think let me start with what Auntie Sakku said, that everything will run. See, the reality is what the mind is every day when we go to sleep. But if a mind is going to think, what happened today and all that, that itself is a habit. Only such people, when they die, just before dying, they will think like that and go. So when we go, I mean, it's going to sleep is a small death. But at that time, if we are very clear how we sleep, we to only sleep thinking of the Lord, that becomes a habit. If I have a habit of remembering the past every day, then that habit only will be there at the end of the life. Only such people who have come and said, your entire life will run before you, because that is a habit which people have had. But if that is not a habit, I don't think the entire thing will run. Number one. And I think Sister Ananti was asking, how other things are taking our space, our mental space. That is why in Sanatana Dharma, sannyasa is prescribed as a stage for everyone to adapt. That means we should renounce. Even if you're living in the world, even if you're living in the city, our thoughts of people around us, our attachments should be slowly severed, mentally at least. If you can't feel, at the worldly level, you cannot sever, it's okay. But mentally, we should be detached. That is the stage called sannyasa. And that is why rishis have devised that stage. But the thing is, we postpone, that means it's a problem. Retirement itself is postponed. We say we want to be active until we die, then we are not ready for renouncing. So that's why renunciation is not, it doesn't naturally happen. It has to be something which we have to work very hard for. And that is why vanaprastha, sannyasa, these are stages which were prescribed by the rishis. Because without these vasanas will not let us go. Again we will be born and again we will be born. So I think the effort has to be made to slowly renounce and give up everything. Is my understanding.
Brother, for Vanaprastha or Sannyasa, the attachment is the key word, has to be gone or has to be removed. So that's I just wanted to add that. Thank you, Sarah.
So, Sairam, brother, I'd like to add to your point too, brother. So mind is the one, the cause of everything. The main job of the mind is thinking. So offer everything to the God. So whatever the mind, because before you enjoy anything, the intellect and mind will enjoy before the five senses. So once you offer to the God, with the grace of blessing and the vivek, grace and from the God, we'll get the viveka and vairagya. So that will remember the God all the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Yeah, you used the word vairagya. Actually, some of these topics Swami has nicely covered in Sandhya Nivarani,
Yeah.
from the flower and the fruit and the unripe fruit, ripe fruit.
Yes,
Swami says vairagya is the essential prerequisite for jnana.
yeah.
I like that, yes.
Thank you, brother. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Sister Ananthi, I think you were about to say something.
Maybe I learned two things. Maybe the severing of ties, maybe mentally, not necessarily physically, with our attachment. Maybe that is one prerequisite, and maybe gradually renouncing if we want to remember the Lord's name at the end of our last breath. We have to come up with those two goals. So in the two things we have to certainly we have to bring into our action, severing of the ties mentally with our attachments, and gradually we have to renunciate and maybe seek the path of attaining the goal of our life. Those two things I learned. Thank you so much, brother.
Sairam.
Sairam, uncle. I think probably we have discussed it before, but I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I'm saying to attain this, you have to take refuge in me, and also you have to realize that I am the Adibhuta, Adideva, Adiyajna, and worship me. So does that mean like, just seeing God in everything, doing every action as an offering to the Lord, that kind of thing? Or is there anything further?
A very, 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 very good question, Kalyani. Others, anyone who would like to, so we are all worshipping Swami, So what else should we do? I think that's also another way to put the question, I guess. I will ask others to comment if anyone has something to say.
Until you maintain your duality, that he is God and I am different, he is different, that duality should be completely go away. Only then, when you think that I and you are one, that kind of Advaita, there is no other being except both of us are same. Even then, that I am telling about duality. I am Brahman. Until we reach that stage, when you reach that stage, I think that you develop that equanimity and full control of the mind. Then you are with one. You are one with the Lord. Sairam.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Anyone else?
So, Saram, brother, can I get the question again, brother, if you don't mind?
Kalyani, you want to repeat, or
Yes.
I will paraphrase. If I didn't missed anything, please let us know. I think what Kalyani is saying is, Swami is telling, if you want to live, the goal of liberation, for that, you need to worship me, recognizing me as Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagnya. Okay? And you take refuge in me. Okay, so those are the things which Krishna has said. Is that everything? Does it cover everything? Is what she asked. Okay. Is there something more which we have to do? Because, see, all of us may say, we have surrendered to Swami. Okay, we are all worshipping Swami. We know that he is in control. Is that all? Are we missing any other piece? Is the question which she asked. Kalyani, did he cover the question adequately? Yeah, so yes, brother Das.
Yeah, that's correct. If you surrender everything, you are not the doer, whatever we normally talk every day, then why you have to worry? Then you surrender, then there's no body consciousness, and you will be attaining the liberation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sairam, brother, I think that faith is missing in here. Surrender in two types of surrenders, really. One, if I don't know what to do, then I will surrender. And or sometimes there is a demand you have to surrender. So at the time also I may surrender. But the trust and faith may be missing here. Maybe in those two things, if we put in my understanding, that would be complete. I thought in myself, if I know nothing about spirituality and I know nothing about the subject matter, sometimes even I know the other person's capability and their knowledge and everything, I would simply say, you and me are the same. If I know nothing about that. If I am in that level of almost equivalent to the Brahman stage, I understand maybe whatever the divinity in me, in the other person also the same divinity. So you and me are the same. In between, those people, they live in between those two categories. They would look for various things to get an understanding of all of these, and we fit into that category, and that's why there are all these maybe the interpretations and the problems and everything occur. But in this case, Sister Kalyani's question, I believe the faith and the trust are missing here. Yes, all those three Adi Buddha, Adi Daiva, and the Adi Jagna, and the surrender. But without having the faith and trust, it may not work as it was intended. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Sairam brother, then I like to bring the point in the Kurukshetra. So Lord Krishna talked about for the self-realization, for the bhakti and everything, but he emphasized to Arjuna, just surrender, then you will merge on me. You do the duty, and without the body consciousness, and surrender to me everything. That's an easy way to get the self-realization. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's about 4:21. So maybe I will just summarize and see. See, Kalyani, I think you said taking. I think we talked about surrender and refuge. I think sometimes we, as Sister Ananthi explained well, we don't know what exactly surrender. Is it forced surrender? We think nothing else can be done, so I surrender type of thing. But when we take refuge in some, the word Swami has used is ashraya. We take refuge. At that point, we know in this world, this with limited abilities which we have, we can't do anything, and that realization comes into our world. Number one. Number two, I think, as Sister Anandi pointed out, the faith will be immense. That the Lord will do, and He will take care of what is best for us. And I think those two are ingredients which only makes the refuge proper refuge. Otherwise, the refuge, we say that we have taken refuge, we are not taken refuge. I think that's what Sister Ananthi nicely explained. So I think ultimately that's what matters. And if that state of mind comes, we will not attempt anything, and even if we attempt, we know that the Lord, I am just doing what I think I should do, but you are the one who is driving it. And that kind of state of mind and surrender or refuge will always exist. And I think that in an experiential state, for it to come, I think we have to practice and practice and practice. And when we get to that state, then we will not be thinking of anything else in this world. Even when we are about to die, the only thing which will come in front of our memory is the Lord. Because there's nothing else needed. We don't need to think about anything else. Because He is the Adi Bhuta, He is the Adi Daiva, He is the Adi Yajna. He will do all the actions, He will take care of everything. And we will, I think, the lack of worry or fear, I think will definitely be there, is my understanding. I hope I have not.
When you said you will not attempt anything, so such a person, like, would they just like only do things if they feel that God is telling them to do it, or like taking any initiative or starting any new thing, or?
See, actually, if you go to chapter 10, chapter 12, Swami will say Sarvarambha Parityagi. There's a word, Sarva Arambha Parityagi. That person will not even start anything. All beginnings will be given up by that person. The thing is, so I think the question is, even if a person is doing something, he will only be thinking of the Lord. He will not think, I am taking an initiative. I have to do this. But the person may act. But even when the person acts, he will be fully conscious that the Lord is the one who is the actor. If you are walking along a street and somebody had fallen into a pit, okay, you look at that person, and the person is screaming. At that time, okay, we say, I should help. The person who is totally surrendered, he will tell, Lord, this person needs help. Shall I do? And you please help me. That will be the thought. And that person may go and lift the other person. And when that person is being lifted, he will think the Lord is lifting. So to that extent, that person will witness that action as the Lord doing it. You know, it is like it's like a child. You know, the mother may hold the hand and write. The child is writing, but the child knows the mother is holding my hand and writing. A devotee who has surrendered, whatever he does, oh, I am doing this, oh, the Lord is holding my hand and we are doing together. Because the mother is doing, but I have the pleasure of being with my mother. That is the way a person who has totally taken refuge and thinking of the Lord will do everything in this world. So is that person doing anything? No. The Lord is doing, I am holding the hand of the Lord. So it's a very subtle difference in how we perceive what we are doing. So at that point in time, that's why there are many doctors, surgeons who have said they've gone into the theater surgery room and they are doing the surgery and they think that they were not doing the surgery. Something had taken possession of them and was doing the surgery, and they themselves were just witnessing. This has been an experience for many surgeons who are great devotees. They see a patient and they don't know what to do. At that time, a force beyond them takes over and does it. So whatever we do, we should think the mother's hand is on us, on our hand. And then you do everything. This is my understanding. That is total refuge. I hope, I don't know whether that answers your question.
Brother Arno, that's a wonderful explanation to everyone, to take every action in such a manner that will really take refuge. Definitely, we can refuge in the God's refuge to the God. We are submitting ourselves. So that is the real surrender. I think there's a beautiful explanation. I love it. I love it. Saira.
Thank you, Aruno. That's the best explanation. I think it will touch everybody's heart. Thank you, Saira.
Actually, some of this all of us know. You know, we have witnessed this in our life, but you know, we don't realize that's all. And it's Swami's grace that those words have to come out of my mouth. That's all.
Sairam, brother.
It is. So when I spoke, you should understand. When I spoke, it's the Lord who spoke, and I also spoke along with him. That's all.
So that tells us, brother, that the body has given to us to realize him.
Yeah.
So that's how we have to do it. Thank you, Sairam.
So it's 4:28. We'll close for today, and we'll continue from next week again. Sairam. समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति
Hari Om.
जय साई राम
Jai Sai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saira.
Sai.